So this is a short tutorial to show you how to animate a neon sign and then animate it, or create a neon sign and animate it. So here's the final result. This is what we're going for. Now this sign says open, but what I'm suggesting for this tutorial is really that you could use it to create your own name. I haven't written out my own name here. I haven't written Alex Williams demo reel because it's a short tutorial and I only did 4 letters. And in fact, in this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do 1 letter. But the idea is that this could be a cool little bit of motion graphics for the start of your animation reel. Instead of just having your name on a card or a slate, you can have your name on a illuminated as a neon sign. So I'm going to show you how to create the neon sign in Maya. So first of all, here's the shot in Maya, by the way. This is what we're trying to get to. So there's the same thing, but without the illumination. But we'll start from scratch here. So first of all, I'm going to go File, New, or rather File, Project Window, and then go New, and let's call this neon sign underscore today's date, 26th of October. And then accept that. And then let's go ahead and set to it. So we'll just scroll down there, set, and then go File, New Scene. Now, one thing we're going to want to do is to have a look at some reference and maybe create a new logo for ourselves. So I've just gone to Google and I entered the keywords neon sign, and I'm in Google Images, and I'm just looking at some of the neon signs that you can come up with. That's one in rather poor taste, but there's a whole bunch of them, and you can see here that how they work. That the idea is that you have one piece of, because it's a tube, it's a neon tube, so the writing kind of needs to be one continuous loop, like this one, the love one here. That's sort of one continuous tube, and then you've got another tube here, so it could be joined up writing, or you could do it as separate letters. Now, if we're doing this as a demo reel logo, you'd probably want to draw the logo out first, whatever your name is, animation reel. But I'm not going to get into that in any detail because I want to keep the tutorial nice and short. Now, what I've done is I've gone into my Documents folder. So that's Documents, Maya, Projects, Neon Sign, and in the Source Images folder I've just popped a neon sign which I've downloaded from the web. Right, okay, so I've downloaded that. That's in Source Images. So now what I'm going to do is create a plane. So create polygon primitives plane. So now we've got a ground plane, so we can just call that, actually we can just, yeah, we'll call that plane, that's fine. And then let's go ahead and assign a material to that, and then attach the downloaded image to that material. So let's right click on that and then go Assign New Material, Lambert, and I'm going to call that Neon Material. And then I'm going to go into the Color tab down here and go to the little checkered flag, and then that'll pull up the Create Render Node menu, and then I'm going to click on File, then I'm going to click on this little folder here, and that will lead me, assuming I've set my project correctly, to the neon sign JPEG. So I open that up. Now if I press 6 on my keyboard, I've got my neon sign. So to make my neon sign in Maya, we're going to use the CV Curve tool. You can find that here under Create, Curve Tools, CV Curve Tool. Now bear in mind that in order for this to work, we need NURBS CVs and NURBS curves to be turned on. They are in fact turned on because everything is turned on, so that's fine. So now what the CV Curve tool does is it creates this little kind of target. So I can go and click here 1, and then click here 2, and then click there 3, and then click there 4, 5, 6, 7, and then press enter, and I will now have a little curve there matching the O of open. And if I go back into the CV Curve tool, I can go ahead and do that for the other letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enter. Now I've got a P. I haven't done that very well, but never mind. Create CV curve tool. Whoops. And then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enter. And I can keep doing that. Create CV curve tool. 1, 2. Enter. And then finally go ahead and do that for the last letter, the N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enter. So now once I've done that, I've now got my CV curves. So what we then want to do is go ahead and turn those into neon lights, and that's the next thing to show you how to do. So I'm just going to select the background layer here, and I'm just going to create a layer for it. So under the layer editor, I'm going to go layers, create empty layers, and I'm just going to call that BG for background. Save that, and then I'm going to go, making sure that that's selected, I go right click, add selected objects, and then just turn off the V for visibility. And now you can see I've just got my letters open, which we're now going to turn into a neon sign. And the first thing to do is make sure we name our letters. So I'm going to go into Windows Outliner, and you'll see here I've got curve 1, so let's call that O. Curve 2, double click, call that P. Curve 3, call that E1. Curve that E2, and then double click on that and call that N. So now we've got everything properly named. So I'm going to close that out, and now I'm going to go ahead and go create NURBS primitives circle. Create NURBS primitives circle, and that's going to create a little circle there, and we're going to use that to turn these into little tubes, neon tubes. And making sure that we're in the modeling menu, we're going to go to surfaces, extrude options box. There we go. And then we're going to go edit, reset settings, and now we have to change some of these settings to make this work. So we want to select at path instead of at profile, and we want to select component instead of pivot. So let's just move that to one side. So let's select that the little circle that we created, shift select the first letter, and then go extrude. So that's going to create a little tube, which is exactly what we want. Then I'm going to do that with the next letter and go back to the same, extrude, and keep going. Let's just go under lighting. Let's go two-sided lighting to make that work. So I'm just shift selecting that, and then go surfaces, extrude. Same for this guy here. Surfaces, extrude. Oops. So it may be that I need another that I need more points in that one, so I may have to go back and fix that one later. Surfaces, extrude. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to leave that for now. So now we've got our lights. Now we've created our neon light, and we can now go ahead and figure out how to make it glow. Now the letters are looking a little bit fat, so let's go ahead and select the circle there, and make sure you're in R on your keyboard. That's scale, and we can now scale this down to make it a little bit less kind of big and fat. So I can just scale those down. I'm holding down the shift key with my left thumb and the right mouse button. I'm actually using a tablet, but I'm using that to scale that down now. So that's looking a little bit more sensible. Once we've done that, we're going to select all the letters and go edit, delete by type, history. Now let's assign a material to the letters. So I'm just going to select them all. I'm going to go right click, assign. I don't think you can see this, I'm just off the screen, but I'm going to go assign favorite material Lambert, and I'm going to call that neon material. Now let's go into the incandescence and let's just click on the color thing and let's just make that blue. We're going to go for a neon blue sign there, something like that. Then we want to find the special effects tab. There we go, down here, and let's set glow intensity to 0.15 to give it a bit of a glow. Now let's go into our render settings. I'm just going to have to open this up here so you can see them, and let's just do a little test render, because we just want to make sure that we want to be not in Arnold, but we want to be in Maya software for this one. And let's just go ahead and do a little test render to see what we've got. There we go. So now you've got a glowing neon sign for your demo reel. And what I'm going to do is close this video out now because it's getting a little long, and then in the next video I'll show you how to animate it to make it flicker on and off.